Call of Duty has put a Nazi woman in Warzone 2, or they almost did. That's what we're going to be talking about today, man. Welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot. If you're new here, consider subscribing and make sure you hit your notifications so you never miss a video from me. So this channel turned from me streaming Call of Duty pretty much every day with my awesome community here to basically taking a big old dump on Call of Duty. And I'm okay with that. I'm all right being on this side of things because I've been able to point out pros and cons as I see it with the game for a long time. And the fact that people are worried about this is actually pretty entertaining. And so that's what we'll talk about, man. This is the latest and greatest character in Call of Duty that you can purchase for a premium. And so this is Izanami, and people are upset because, well, there's a couple of different reasons that they're upset, and that's what we're going to talk about. So the first one is this character doesn't fit a realistic military-style shooter. Well, that's where you got it wrong, because Call of Duty hasn't been a realistic military-style shooter in a really long time. I mean, the best example I can think of, or the last time that I think they attempted to be realistic, is with the guns and the sounds in Modern Warfare 2019, which it was incredible, right? But as far as realistic, man, it hasn't been that way in forever. So the fact that people are concerned that this character doesn't fit the theme, I think is kind of silly. And you know, some people have really short memories. I pulled up some of the stupid characters just in Warzone 1. I mean, we could go through a bunch of these if you want, but look at this guy. Who is this guy? Look at him. Check the cut. Looking real goofy, right? Does that look like a I don't think so. I don't think that's a realistic. Oh, hey, here's King Kong. They put that in there, which is cool. I don't remember this character, but yeah, another anime bundle. What else have they put in this dumb game? Here's one right here. Look at this guy. And then this one, I don't even remember this. This is coming up as the 5 ugliest operator skins in Warzone. Look at that. Check it. Check the fro, dude. Regardless, dude, this has not been a realistic style shooter in forever. So what the hell are people even worried about? You know, they have Crash Bandicoot in the game, and they have anime characters and anime guns, and I just clicked something there. But you know, to me, this is kind of silly that you'd be worried about this specific character at this point. The other thing that people are upset about is when you spell Izanami backwards, it says I'm a Nazi. Now, when you make a World War II shooter, here is my opinion. You show all images from World War II. Now, in multiplayer specifically, I know that World War II nor Vanguard had any kind of imagery, swastikas, or anything like that in the game, right? So, and here's an article that I brought up from a long time ago. In World War II, they did not include the swastika, which is a very widely used image, obviously, in Germany and in the occupied countries. And here's a quote: "There are, of course, cultural boundaries that we felt needed to respect. We needed to respect. We also wanted to be authentic in our approach to game design." Of course, I'm quoting here. "It's a fine balance of not glorifying the symbolism while also not ignoring or shying away from this dark moment in history." You do shy away from it when you don't show it, okay? And so the whole point of this is, I really doubt a company as woke as this, a company that would, pull Nick Merckx's character from their store because he said leave children alone, would purposely put I'm a Nazi in their game, right? I really doubt that. Maybe they did, but I really doubt it, man. You know, the last game I can remember where they actually used that kind of imagery is World at War throughout. Now, in Vanguard, they did use it in the campaign, but regardless, man, this company has been woke for a really long time, dude, and it's sickening because, again, when you make a military style shooter, at least a good one, you're going to include all imagery in that game, right? And that's not disrespecting, anybody. That's actually bringing light to a dark moment. So whoever wrote this or whoever said this is Michael Condrey, whatever the hell his name is. This guy is like literally speaking out of both sides of his mouth. So, anyways, you take that with a grain of salt. But there's, again, another thing he says, there's certainly a line that we are very cautious not to cross while still honoring the sacrifice of those who fought to push back the world from the brink of tyranny. In short, it's not something we take lightly. So they just take it out and rewrite history at the same time. To me, they use it where it's kind of convenient in the campaign, but in the majority of the player base is in multiplayer or Warzone or whatever, they will leave that stuff out. So again, I say all of this just to emphasize that I really doubt this company would put something like that intentionally. And let's be honest, man, this is like the least of your worries. If you're still playing this trash game, you're worried about this? And it's funny how quickly they switched on this, right? It's like, oh God, I hope they don't think that we actually tried to put Nazis in this game. But then again, I still don't think they've reinstated Nick Merckx or Tim Tatman. Not that those guys would want to be reinstated, but regardless, it's funny how quick they'll switch over controversy like this compared to something that's truly controversial, like what we saw a month ago. I was looking at some of the issues with this because I uninstalled the game, and it's like the TTK, right? So they upped the health, but then they changed the regeneration time, the health regeneration time from 5 to 7 seconds. So a lot of people are saying that the TTK, it doesn't even feel like it's really changed at all. So there's that. I've seen like FPS issues and lagging and all these kinds of things that Call of Duty has just been notorious for, man. We used to joke all the time that we feel like Call of Duty Warzone has one server. You know what I mean? Like just one, because their player count keeps dropping, and so they just have the budget for one server or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's funny to me, man, that people are worried about that. How quickly you see those things change, but then things that really matter, it's almost like they go deaf once they have real issues in front of them that need to be fixed. There's no way that they saw, hey, TTK needs to change. We need to maybe increase the skill gap. So we're going to give players extra health, but also slow down the regeneration time. It's silly to me, man. So this is what people are worried about. Call of Duty changed it. There you go. There's another dumb character in Call of Duty that, is now named Izzy. They almost did it, though. They almost put a Nazi woman inside of Warzone 2. Love to hear your opinions on this, man. What do you think about the changes? What do you think about Season 4? If you have any ideas like this for future videos, love to hear those as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.